lot of hurry up and wait. We're just under an hour away from when the president is expected to come down and pay his respects. We know plenty of our community in Buffalo has already paid their respects, but now it's his turn, and the First Lady as well, and their entire team will be coming here. But yeah, we went through quite a lengthy process. We all had to line up the media. We had to leave the scene, leave our cars, leave all of our gear behind, and walk over to another parking lot where we then got searched and wanted, which I'm sure is very similar to what Marley went through at the airport. But I want to set the scene a little bit for you here. You see the tape is still up around Tops. We are obviously at Jefferson and Riley. We're on that side of things. The president will be on the other side. He's going to be visiting some of those memorials that have been left in honor of those 10 lives so horrifically lost. But we've got state police here. We've got the Secret Service here that we've been able to speak with a little bit this morning as well, and Buffalo Police. They are all here on scene. I know that you mentioned Jeff Preval saw some people getting turned away. That is because they are trying to keep this as safe as possible. Everything is very lock and key here. And throughout the morning, we've been keeping you updated on what is expected today. He's going to be able to walk through. He's going to be able to see for the first time President Biden the scene here. We've showed you at home for the past 3 days now, but this will be the first time that the President of the United States is coming, and he will be able to see and feel the emotions from the victims' families. I know that he wants to pay his respects to them at the Delvin Grider Center later on this morning, but we will continue to be setting the scene here for you ladies, and it's going to be an emotional day.
Hey, Gabby, I got a question for you. We kind of saw, I don't know if it was the FBI or what specific law enforcement official. Looks like we might have a helicopter flying overhead. Yes. I hope you can hear me. But I know that there was a group of, it looked like investigators out there. They had blue scrubs on their shoes, and I assumed they were going into the Tops. What have you seen this morning in terms of that investigation continuing? Because we know the president is here, but this investigation goes on.
Exactly. While this is happening, you're right, they are exactly investigating inside. The FBI went into the Tops for the first time yesterday. That was a big deal, and that was when they were surveying the scene. And there, it all began in the parking lot when they surveyed that initially. But one of the biggest things in this investigation, one of the newest developments, was that the shooter had been here before he came on that Friday to scope things out. He had been here in March. So the current investigation is going into if he was there scoping things out back in March. That's not confirmed, but that is something that they are certainly looking into. As you mentioned, the FBI is on scene here. Buffalo Police is on scene here. We have those memorials on each side, really every corner surrounding this Tops on Jefferson Avenue. And now it is all blocked off, of course, the street, and especially for the president's arrival in just about an hour to 45 minutes or so.
Gabby, I know yesterday you were speaking with law enforcement officials live on air, and they had mentioned the cars of the victims were still in that parking lot.
Yes.
What are you seeing in the does it look like some of the families may have gotten those vehicles back? What are you seeing in that parking lot this morning?
Yeah, Kelsey, it does look a bit emptier than it had been. Like I said, the first days we were here, everything was left in place. It was like time stood still. The vehicles were still in the parking lot. The music was still playing in the parking lot. It was a very eerie feeling, and a lot of officials that we spoke with felt that way when they were surveying the scene. It was very eerie to be there, to still hear that music going, to see the cars not moved out of place. It's a really emotional experience for so many people. And it's great that the president is going to be able to feel that emotion and speak with those victims and the victims' families rather today, and to really be able to get a feel of what our Buffalo community has been going through. I do hope that he also feels how strong our community is being and how we are being a united front in all of this. And I think that's what our officials are hoping for as well.
All right, Gabby, thanks so much. Of course, I imagine the scene there with the security, as we saw at the Buffalo airport, will increase as the president makes his way, but they tend to usher him around pretty swiftly. So we do expect his arrival there shortly.
Very quickly. So the streets around that area from the airport to that Tops, of course, on Jefferson Avenue in Buffalo will probably be very busy, will be very blocked off. So if you're in that area at all right now, you're going to want to avoid that area or just be prepared for major delays right now.
And we've been talking about the need to continue to say the names of the victims. I want to pop up their photos here so we can see their faces. I'm going to go through their names. Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNeil, Catherine Massey, Margus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter, Geraldine Talley, Ruth Whitfield, and Pearl Young. And we also know 3 additional people were shot and injured, and one of those people, Zaire Goodman, is out of the hospital. The other 2, as we were last told, still remain.
Well, one of the places the president will visit today will be the Delavan Grider Community Center. That will be after he visits, along with the First Lady, that Tops on Jefferson Avenue.
And I believe we have Kayla Green standing outside. I'm told actually the president is arriving at the Tops as we speak. So let's go to Gabrielle Mediak. Gabby, what are you seeing right now? All right, we might be having a technical issue, but we are told that the president is arriving, people likely taking their place as he exits the Beast, as Marley told us it's called, and he is going to be joined there with Governor Kathy Hochul. We saw Brian Higgins. We saw Kirsten Gillibrand there, and here is the Beast. Gabby, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Gabby. What are you seeing?
As you can probably see, the president has arrived. Secret Service has surrounded his vehicle, and he is right by the memorial that he has planned to visit. You see a lot of people running in to, potentially take his picture. You see Secret Service officers also coming to his vehicle, and he's in there, and it was quite a quick trip over here. We do believe that that is him over there, and we are just waiting to see him walk out and experience this for the very first time, feel all of that emotion that all of us Buffalonians have been going through, and to really see where 10 people were so senselessly killed just 3 days ago. And we are waiting. You see the media surrounding the limo over there, and we're waiting, seeing a door potentially about to be opened.
Gabby, what is that memorial there? Can you explain? I see some doves on the ground there.
Yes,
what will
you see the
he
doves
be looking
from the
at?
peacemakers. You see the flowers. You see the handwritten notes from people wishing their love and support to all those going through. A lot of people that dropped things off here, they didn't even know a victim, but they just wanted to make their voices heard and make a difference in some way, show their support and honor those lives lost. There are candles that are still lit. There are a plethora of flowers and balloons and just many other items showing support. Now you can see there's a first limo, there's a second limo with the flags on. That's the one we're keeping an eye on as well, that we believe that the president is in, and we'll be patiently waiting for him to get out.
I see doors opening. I imagine he will be exiting shortly there.
Yes, it's a tense feeling here. It's kind of a feeling of excitement that he's finally, there he is, he's walking out. There he is, there's a president and the First Lady walking. She has flowers in her hands. They're walking toward the memorial now. Really somber moment.
What's going through their minds.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them going, they're taking it slowly. Now they've finally reached the balloons. It's tough from our vantage point to see, but it looks like he's taking it all in right now. The President of the United States here in Buffalo, taking a look at that memorial in honor of those 10 lives so senselessly lost. The First Lady standing by his side. A really emotional moment for the both of them, honoring those 10 victims and their families this morning. A somber moment here.
I imagine, Gabby, as you speak about this, they're taking time to reflect, maybe saying a prayer together. And here's another view. Gabby, I don't think you can see what we are looking at right now, but we are seeing them up close, looking at the growing memorial, which started with just a few candles and flowers, and now it looks like it's almost climbing the tree there. The president and the First Lady stepping back and joined by Governor Hochul, Schumer, Mayor Byron Brown also laying flowers down.
Erie County Commissioner Mark Poloncarz, I can see in that crowd as well. Governor Hochul now reading something that was written on a poster board there.
An incredible view we have up close right now, and you can hear them. The silence, you know, it is a somber moment, as Gabby mentioned.
All the while, they're being protected by Secret Service. You can see them on the building surveying the scene, making sure they are safe in this moment to really be able to feel this, to take it all in.
And this is not where they will meet the families of the victims. We're told that will probably happen at the Delavan Grider Community Center later on today.
I want to see if we can hear what Mayor Byron Brown is sharing with them. I don't think we're going to be able to, but Gabby, I don't know if you can also see this. It looks like the mayor is sharing some words with the president and the First Lady, all in a huddle there with Senator Chuck Schumer and Governor Kathy Hochul.
You guys may have a better vantage point than me because you've got that zoomed in camera, but we can see them from here. There's a group of them together. It looks like they're exchanging possibly prayers, and just a very special, somber moment in honor of the lives lost here in Buffalo.
And our producer is telling me that the camera at Delavan Grider that we have set up right now is showing some of these families coming in, being shuffled into the community center now. The president will speak to them a little bit later on, along with the law enforcement officials. Some of those heroes, we obviously know Aaron Salter, who didn't make it out alive on Saturday, certainly a hero in our minds in this community. Shot at the suspect. He was so heavily armored, though, that the bullets almost just deflected off of him.
Yeah. You know, I hope that, I'm not from Buffalo. All right, Kelsey, I know you are. Gabby, I know you are from Western New York.
We're gonna love.
But the strength of this community and just the community aspect of this, of Western New York in this part of the country is so strong. And I hope that the president will be able to feel that today. It's something that if you're not from here, when you do come here, you're like, oh my goodness, this is unlike any area in the country. It truly is. And I hope that the president feels that today, and I hope he learns just the details about some of these suspects, a little bit about their personality, the good deeds they likely did, you know, just the facts that he should know, because these people, you know, will live on in our memories and in history.
Absolutely.
I completely agree. And something that struck me about all of these victims, they were all helpers. They were the helpers, a teacher, a security guard. They have all made a difference in our community, and I really want him to learn their stories.
And we saw, Gabby, the vantage point that we had from one of our cameras looking straight at that memorial. I believe security ushered us away. So now we're looking at the camera that you have set up where you're standing, and we can see likely what you're seeing right now with it almost seems like they're in a huddle there, coming up with the game plan on what's happening, although I do not know what they're discussing.
Okay, you hope that they are talking about the victims and the incredible lives they lived, the things they did, the help they brought to our community, because each and every one of these 10 people really made a difference in our community. As we mentioned, a teacher, we had a former teacher, we had people involved in the church, we had people just doing good deeds in the Tops area, and they just would bring out groceries to their cars, like, you know, just typical good deeds. And of course, the security guard we've been mentioning throughout the morning, a former Buffalo police officer who made such a difference and was just doing his job and really ended up saving countless lives by being in that spot he was in at Tops. I hope that President Biden is learning all about them, because that is who this is about. We want to remember their names.
Yes, and we're getting a different vantage point here. You can see all of the police officers. You can see New York State police troopers there. I believe Buffalo police there surrounding this group. We can see Letitia James in that crowd, New York AG.
It almost looks like layers and layers of security. You know, we saw, obviously, that's a Secret Service member, and in a couple layers of law enforcement officials, local authorities, you know, all protecting a group of playmakers now standing in a circle, trying to potentially figure out how to comfort this community in this time of extreme grief. And just the magnitude of this, Gabby, obviously the president being here, but you're kind of in the media area where there are dozens and dozens of groups. You're segregated to a specific part of that street.
Right, yes, we can see them in a distance. We can see the president and the first lady and everyone surrounding them. But yes, there's more media than I have ever seen here in Buffalo. National media joined by us. And we are off to the side where we're a little distance away, but we can see them. They look like they're starting to walk toward the vehicle again and maybe start making their move to the Delavan Grider Center to meet those victims' families and hear their impactful stories.
I was there on Saturday afternoon. Memorials at that point had not started to grow. As you can see, though, in this video here that we've seen, balloons, candles, bears, posters have grown there. The memorials, people dropping off little trinkets, little items for the ones that will be so missed in this community.
Absolutely, and there are several of those surrounding the tops, not just the one that the president was just looking at. They are on every side in honor of those 10 lives lost, the 13 people shot in total. And it's just been so senseless, the entire situation. And to be able to have a memory of them, you know, a piece of their memory. There are photos, there are candles, there are flowers. I'm so glad that the President of the United States was able to see and feel that.
And Gabby, I just want to interrupt you briefly. It looks like we just watched, they gathered there at the memorial, and it looked like we are watching the president get back into his vehicle, the Beast, as they call it, with First Lady Jill Biden. From here, from this, you know, scene of the tragedy, they are expected to go down to the Delavan Grider Community Center, where they will likely be meeting with victims' families and more local law enforcement, first responders, the 2 police officers who were first on scene to respond to this unthinkable tragedy.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. It looks like they are getting ready to go right now. Vehicles are moving, and they are probably going to make their way right to the Delavan Grider Center to be with those families that are so in need. They are grieving right now, and they'll be able to speak with the President of the United States. And as you can see, they're turning the corner, and they're going to come right in front of us, it looks like.
A large motorcade there.
Yeah.
Because
He's
there
on his
are
way.
several, there's obviously the president, but we saw several other politicians with them.
And the president just passed by us. I'm not sure if you were able to see in the vehicle, but I saw him sitting in there.
Yeah,
on his way.
I don't know if we're showing your specific camera, Gabby, right now, but we do have a couple different views of Jefferson Avenue and the surrounding streets. And as you mentioned there, yep, we're watching him pass, head down to the Delavan Grider Community Center, where he'll meet with those families.
Can I go past? Go ahead, go ahead. Yep, thank you.
All right, looks like we are back with you guys now on camera, potentially. What an incredible moment to see him go right up to that display of love from our community and support for those who are grieving. And then he literally just drove by us in that motorcade of vehicles on his way to the Delavan Grider Community Center to talk to those families that are grieving, to hear the stories of those 10 lives so senselessly lost. You can see the entire motorcade leaving now between Secret Service, Buffalo Police, FBI. They are all following along and making sure our president is safe.